Yo, 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 yo. It's another fucking podcast with your boys Bill, James, and Tig's Excellent Adventure, episode 53. This week, we're going to talk about
Lakers Celtics. Rivalry renewed. Who's the worst team?
KD and Kyrie. They claim to not like all the drama and the attention, but they keep on getting a lot of drama and attention. Yep. We got another fucking podcast for you. It's all happening right here on the number one podcast in all of the motherfucking podcast history and sports history and yo mama's ear hole history. That's fucking right. You funky bitch, you! That's right! That's right. Because it's another
fucking podcast.
Getting colder even in the summer. Even when I see the sun, I still hear the thunder.
Me,
When them K's
boy,
start raining
Bill,
and the bullets wounding
your boy,
babies, old innocent
boy,
ladies.
James. And we sitting in
Whisper
here.
from the killers under moonlight.
Fucking
Fake
number
young
one
thugs really softer
podcast
than
in
some
all
moon
sports.
pies. On the inside, I grind, I shine. You ain't with the squad, then fuck if you shine. Our mentality is success-based. That's the only reason I'm still
Shout out
flowing in
to
the
all of
first
you.
place. Checkmate. Life is
Shout
like
out
a
to
chess game. From your
Shout out
release
to
date
Mason.
till your
Shout out to
deceased
Max.
date.
Shout out to
The truth
Sarah
function
Haley.
more egos
Shout
than
out
even
to
arteries.
Derek.
The campaign at my city causing
Jay's Bar.
landslide victories. I
You made
never
the
let any
podcast.
success
Yeah.
get to me.
And,
I'm so unaffected 'cause the
you wanna throw
fame
your
don't
shout
mean
out?
shit to me.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Kumar.
Hello. That's right. So let's get to it. We're going to talk about, rumor has it that Antonio Brown could be on well, I guess it's a myriad of teams. It's a fucking roller coaster of teams. It's crazy. He could be a Raider. He could be a Titan. He could be a Panther. He could be a Colt.
He could be a Laker.
Or he could be a candlestick maker.
Candelabra.
I think the most likely of all of those, including San Francisco, I forgot to include them. I mean, I don't know, but I think him and Le'Veon Bell could both end up at the Colts.
That would
With
be
Indy.
sick.
They don't really have a lot of defensive players that they have to pay a lot of money. They're not really known for defense, so it wouldn't surprise me if Irsay broke the bank and said, hey, I'm going to go get two of the most electrifying players and athletes in the game today.
And he's going to be like, it ends here, Patriots. You're
Yeah.
not winning another one.
Now, if Antonio Brown was smart, that's where he would go. He would go to the Patriots.
Oh, yeah.
He would get to stick it to the Pittsburgh Steelers at least once a year. And because he would either see them in the playoffs or see them once during the regular season. And put it to Ben Roethlisberger constantly and talk about how he's really a real good quarterback now. I mean, oh, man, the ball when it comes out of Tommy's hand and da. But I don't know if he can take all those
20
rules.
touchdowns.
Also probably get fined 20 times.
Oh, yeah.
Probably get suspended, probably wouldn't get play one game.
Wouldn't play the Super Bowl.
Yeah, wouldn't play in the Super Bowl. Wouldn't play against the Steelers specifically.
Yeah.
There'd just be all kind of really weird shit going on we wouldn't understand. But I think that's where he should go if he was smart. But where I think he may end up, and I think it would be bad for him, bad for the coach, bad for the quarterback, bad for the organization. The Raiders.
I don't think that would happen. Doesn't seem like a Gruden guy.
He doesn't seem like a Gruden guy, but, you know, if they offer him the right amount of money, which they'll have,
But I don't think Gruden would want him.
I don't know what Gruden wants. I don't think Gruden knows what Gruden wants. But we've said on this show,
He wants draft picks.
he does want draft picks. But that's over with. So maybe now he wants players. Now, we have said on this show before that the best fit for Antonio Brown is the Texans. Well, I've said it. I think the best fit for him is the Texans. You put him on that team and they're like an unstoppable and unmovable force on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to find out tomorrow. I think I saw something that said he's going to be traded by the end of the week.
Yeah, so
by the time you hear this,
by the time you're listening to this podcast,
you'll be on another team.
Antonio Brown might be on a plane, private jet, drip. You know what I'm saying? On his way to wherever the fuck that place could be. Now, one place I did hear that sounded interesting to me, but I don't think it's possible. Green Bay.
That would be sick. Bombs from Rodgers all
Bombs over
day.
Baghdad or Green Bay.
Mm-hmm. They don't even basically use a running back.
No, they don't. Yeah, they don't. I mean, if they had one, they wouldn't use him. They had a running back, Eddie Lacy, Roll Tide, great running back coming out of college. They never ran the ball. He went and gained 300 and something pounds or something like that.
In one leg.
It was crazy, man. So I don't know. But, yeah, you're right. They don't run the ball, so it'd be a great place for Antonio Brown as far as his numbers, his legacy. But I don't know if him and Aaron are going to get along any more than him and Ben.
Time will definitely tell. Can't wait to put this behind us and just see where this dude ends up.
Tired of talking about Antonio Brown if I'm not getting a hate on him. You know, and, you know, now that he's not a Steeler, do I hate Antonio Brown? I mean, I don't know. I'm really fucked up over this whole NFL.
It's hit us all pretty hard.
So, write in. Let us know how shitty Antonio Brown not being a Steeler has made you feel, or have you even come to grips with it until right now? Maybe you're just now realizing, just like me, you're not going to be able to hate him or love him because he's not a Steeler anymore.
I mean, hate it or love it, the underdog's on top.
That's right. And he's dictating his entire career right now. He's letting it be known he was going to be expensive, he's going to be a problem, and he's going to catch touchdowns.
Tony Two-Tat.
What you ready to do? You ready to pay for that? What are you willing to pay for that? You know? I don't know. I think the dude's not even top 4 receiver in the league. But whatever. Moving on to somebody who's not even a top 4 quarterback in the league. Dak Prescott. Big Dak Prescott.
Dakota Prescott.
I think I'm going to start calling him Big Dak. Big Dak. How did that never become a nickname for Dak Prescott? Like that
yeah, Big D.
Easily be Big Dak. And what I said to Sarah, I said, we were watching TV, and she says, they keep calling that guy Dak. Is that dude's name Dak? Like Dak? Like a dick? Like Dak? I was like, yes, it is. It's really his name.
That's why Mr. and Mrs. Prescott named him that.
That's right. He must come out. They thought it was his dick. It was an umbilical cord.
Common misconception.
But they thought, Dak. Look at goddamn Dak. You know what I'm saying? But, another common misconception. All quarterbacks got to get paid $20 million or more.
It's true.
Big misconception out there.
It's a shame.
So, we've talked about it on this show before. A lot of money to go around on that team, especially for the future. You got Ezekiel Elliott, got to get paid in the future. You got Amari Cooper, going to be looking for some kind of restructuring or re-signing. And then you got Trevor Lawrence, who's looking for his check right now, not getting it, kind of upset. He might be gone right now. We might not know it yet. He might not even be a Cowboy anymore. So, I'm asking you, sir, does Dak Prescott deserve, not Willie, but does he deserve to get paid above what I call the Matt Ryan line? The average of most average quarterbacks in the league.
It's
who also makes $20 million a year.
Dak's been in the league for 3 years.
Dak has finally ended his 3-year slavery contract.
So
It can finally go out on the open market if the Dallas Cowboys forego paying him.
So I don't know if he deserves it. What I do know is that Matt Ryan is who he is. Very little chance for him to improve at this point in his career. Dak Prescott, younger guy. Maybe he learns to throw the ball a bit better. So I could, if he does, then definitely he deserves that $20 million. If he doesn't, then they will overpay him. I think he definitely will because they basically chose Dak Prescott over Tony Romo and Dez Bryant. So,
Well, I feel like Father Time chose chose Dak over Tony Romo because he broke his back.
Yeah, but he was ready to come back. But then Dak threw that touchdown.
Tony Romo should have retired 3 years before he retired. He broke his collarbone for the second time by then. He had already had back problems. He wears a flap jacket to play football because his ribs are so damaged. I mean, his insides probably look like Chef Boyardee, and that's not what your insides are supposed to look like, James.
It's true.
And
unless you eat Chef Boyardee.
I think him getting hurt in that preseason game really did save his life. Tony Romo is one of those dudes I think you'd have to take off the field in a body bag.
On a stretcher.
In a body bag, by helicopter, whatever. Because, I think he would rather die on the field than quit playing. Medically unable to perform. He's like, okay, I'll take that one.
Mm-hmm.
And, CBS contract, okay, whatever. You convinced me.
I'll call the Super Bowl.
So I just think that Dak Prescott has really been, he's been a lucky guy. He's been really lucky, as a matter of fact. He didn't have to deal with a lot of pressure early on because he was second-round pick. Or was he? Wait a minute. I think he's a fourth-round pick.
Yeah, he's down there.
He's down there, man, and he's not even really a good quarterback. I would say the answer to that question is no. He does not deserve more than or as much as Matt Ryan because I don't think Matt Ryan deserves the amount of money that he's getting paid. So I'm going to go with no. Dak, you should get paid, sir, what Case Keenum is getting paid, who in more recent years than you has taken his team to the playoffs and deep into the playoffs. I just can't roll with a guy who's won how many playoff games? Zero. How many times has he been to NFC Championship game? Well, the answer to the last question will tell you that it's zero. So I don't know. What are we rewarding here? Matt Ryan had gotten his team to the playoff times to only win 0 games. I don't think that we should be rewarding that. I feel like these quarterbacks, these teams get bogged down in these contracts with these quarterbacks and aren't able to do anything after the fact. You could point to a way more talented quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. And I think that's my exhibit A. They paid Aaron Rodgers an exorbitant amount of money because he is the most talented quarterback in the league at the detriment of their defense. They lost all their defensive guys, and then they weren't able to, and some offensive linemen, not able to keep the party going, and Aaron Rodgers can't stay upright. And what good is that, all that talent, if it's thrown from its butt?
True. No money for you, Dak.
So, we're going to go to, I'm going to look ahead. Zeke Elliott, you think he's going to get paid that crazy Le'Veon Bell money that we expect Le'Veon Bell to get paid this season, or that Todd Gurley money? You think that your boy Jerry Jones is going to go out here and give him that big dick. Since we're saying that Dak is not going to get all that. He's going to probably get, what, $17, $18 million, somewhere in that range, with some incentives that'll probably maybe get him to 20, but I wouldn't even do that. Do you think that Zeke deserves to get paid as much as a Todd Gurley, who catches out of the backfield, and a Le'Veon Bell, who also catches out of the backfield?
Yes. Zeke is the best.
Explain why.
200 yards, 3 touchdown type of games is on the table at any moment. This dude is one of the few running backs you can give the ball to on 3rd and 9, and he'll get you a first down. He knows he kind of cooled it on the hurdling of players, but if you need a long run, he can jump over anyone. This dude is a game breaker. He not many like him, and let's face it, he needs some money to get some shirts that fit him.
I'm going to completely disagree. I think he don't deserve nothing. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
That's my reason. Roll Tide. Give all that money to Amari Cooper. Give it to Amari Cooper. The team was about to not make the playoffs. I mean, they didn't make the playoffs, but they did. Yeah, they did make the playoffs. What am I talking about? They were not going to make the playoffs, and Amari Cooper came, and they just went straight into the playoffs. That's all they managed to do. I mean, I feel like Amari Cooper didn't get enough credit for that. Should have probably been in the MVP conversation based off of that. What do you think?
He had one good game. He had a 3-touchdown game, but then he kind of fell off. And I think the offense doesn't hum without the threat of Ezekiel Elliott.
Well, I mean, the offense didn't when he fell off. It was because they were doubling him, and then they weren't. Zeke Elliott wasn't making anything do anything when he wasn't there.
I'm saying,
and also didn't do anything when he was there. And they're supposed to have the best offensive line in all of football. Now, they did have a guy out with some kind of crazy illness that makes you, like, vomit like crazy and shit from your asshole like crazy.
A hangover?
Oh, no. This is like a real medical thing that you, like, I can't remember. There's, like, some kind of condition that dude, like, almost died from or something.
Damn.
And, yeah. I mean, he was, like, shitting and throwing up some kind of autoimmune disease thing.
I mean, the stats are stats. I can't argue with that, but I've seen this dude play. I'm a Dallas fan. This guy can cut, good agility, can basically go 0 from 100 from a jump cut. The skill is there, even if the stats sometimes are not.
Word. Well, I agree. I agree in that sentiment. You know what I'm saying? That sometimes the skill is there, but the stats are not. Just like the stats really aren't there to keep talking about the NFL right now, because there ain't really shit else to talk about.
But when Antonio Brown gets traded,
best believe we're going to spend 45 minutes
to an hour
figuring out how we're going to not talk about it. But now it's time to move on to the
LeBron James passing Michael Jordan in the total points. From long range. Kevin Durant. A Nick. Boom shakalaka. Kyrie Irving joining him. He's on fire. Zion Williamson from the 3-point line.
Right. Fuck, man, we gotta watch something. Glad it was very short NFL. Popped off. But why are we gonna talk about two really bad teams, the Celtics and the Lakers? Well, one really bad team and one team that's struggling.
Struggling.
We're gonna talk about them because two of the most prized possessions franchises in the NBA, or I should say of the NBA. And the superstar, the number one player, the biggest face in all of the basketball world is, dare I say it, struggling before our very eyes to even keep it together with his team, and he's getting booed for missing free throws, something I hadn't seen happen in Lakerland since Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, and that took a lot for them to boo him. They had to start losing games because of it. He got a little fat. I'm going to ask you, our in-the-field reporter, old Jamesy boy, for Bill, James, and Tig. You know what I'm saying?
What's the question?
Does LeBron James, is he feeling regrets about making that move west?
Certainly seems like it. And I bet he regrets, or he's sad, that the Lakers didn't get Anthony Davis. And now I'm sure he's worried that they won't get Anthony Davis, because if they don't, this is basically his life for the next 3 years. And I don't think they're going to be making any kind of championship run with this core, with him making the lion's share of that money. Now, they do have the slot open for another max next year. And I bet he's just worried that that's going to turn into, 3 mid-level exemption guys. And, it's a tough.
Three mid-level exemption. I mean, that wouldn't be bad, but I think.
But he wants.
Well, let me ask you this before I say what I think. Do you think LeBron James planned on being able to get Anthony Davis to the Lakers before he made this, or within making the decision, before he signed on paper to be a Laker? Do you think he had it in somewhere in the workings or somewhere in the back of his mind that that deal was going to be possibly made?
No. It wasn't until Anthony Davis joined Clutch, which is when all this
But that took place.
hoopla.
That didn't take place after?
I think that took place after
Okay.
he signed with the Lakers.
Okay. So
But, maybe he was talking. It's like, man, we got to get Anthony Davis. Because I honestly think he was talking to Kawhi Leonard, and I think that was the trade he was trying to force. Obviously, it didn't happen. And then, once that was off the table. Oh, yeah, Paul George. I think he was hoping Paul George might join. But Paul George was like, nah. I'm good.
Yeah, Paul George wants to have his own team.
And now he has it. And he's balling. And he's in the playoffs. Yeah.
These things, all true.
So I think LeBron James is a little, kind of off his rails right now. Doesn't know what to do. Doesn't know what's going to happen, which is unusual to him because he's usually in control. But I'm not gonna let Magic Johnson and Rob Pelinka off the hook. They made some bad signings that clearly, literally, everyone else knew besides them.
Probably should not have an agent in his first year being a GM. Be a GM.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
the Lakers.
Yeah. Michael Beasley, that didn't work out. Lance Stevenson, it was just terrible. And JaVale McGee, I like the JaVale McGee signing. Especially for the little amount he is paid. Rajon Rondo, he's good, but he can't shoot.
Play well with LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
If LeBron's gonna constantly be this, I thought all of those signings that you just mentioned were great signings if LeBron James was going to be willing to play off of the ball, which he made it very clear, within the first 5 games, that was not happening.
I mean,
Like it was
16 years in. I mean, you are who you are.
You are who you are, which is why I think that Jordan that's why I be saying that Jordan is the best, because he played, even though it was like he was the best player on the team for sure. They had a system and he played within the system, even when it was
Triangle,
Doug
baby.
Collins. Even when it was Doug Collins and it wasn't a triangle, it was him playing within the team aspect and always trying hard at all times. I think that LeBron has some kind of injury that's always been there that he's not ever told us about. I think he has some kind of back issue or some kind of foot issue.
Some kind of defense issue.
Yeah, something that will not allow him to play defense that he's never told us about for the last 3, maybe even 4 years. Because he's been taking his foot off the gas on the defensive end for a few years now. Something, though, that you never saw the superstars like Kobe Bryant and
MJ.
I was trying to say Irving Magic Johnson. He motherfucker had AIDS and went out there and played his ass off. You know what I'm saying? Like, these types of things are the things that you expect out of people who are getting paid money to be professional athletes. LeBron James is just out there to score. He's just out there to stuff the stats, which is kind of what I used to accuse him of when he was, in his first 3 years. Because, back then they used to call it a LeBron when you almost got a triple-double. Like, he always was trying to stuff the stats, which is not a bad thing as long as you're winning championships.
Or your name is Russell Westbrook.
Or your name is Russell Westbrook. Well, Russell Westbrook was trying to go get a championship. He was literally, when he won the MVP that year.
No, he was trying to get triple doubles.
But he was trying to get his team to the playoffs, which he did.
Yeah.
It'd be a one thing he got all those triple doubles, and his team is in the 16th place.
But LeBron James made the finals 8 times.
LeBron James made the finals 8 times, and how many championships does he have?
I'm saying if he got to the finals, but you can't give LeBron James shit and not Russell Westbrook shit.
I'm not talking about. Do you consider Russell Westbrook to be one of the best players of all time?
No.
Well, then we're not comparing players accurately. Then you gotta be comparing players to the players that they are comparable to.
Yeah, but I
so
don't
if
think
we're saying that we've never at all, people have said that LeBron James is the greatest player of all time.
I don't
that
think
has come out.
Stuffing, though.
That's what people have said.
Well,
and at this point in
no.
his career, he is definitely stat stuffing.
Nah.
Going out there. This whole project is supposed to be
If he was
LeBron
stat
James,
he'd be going for triple doubles.
which is what he's been doing the last 7 games.
No.
If you go, that's exactly what he's
He
been
didn't have any
doing.
triple doubles this last 7 games.
I didn't say the last 7, but I didn't say he had a triple double. I said he's been basically, he had a triple double the last game. He had a triple double the game before that, and he's been on the cusp of one in the last 7 games. He is stat stuffing right now because he knows the team is not going to make the playoffs. It's not going to happen. His average still has to look good. And as a matter of fact, if he was trying to make these players better, like the narrative was when he first came to the Lakers, he first got here, touchdown, he's going to mentor these guys. He's going to bring these guys along. He's going to be the thing that pushes these guys to the next level. That was the narrative. Now, it's just the LeBron show, and these guys are standing around trying to get theirs. And nobody's happy. Nobody celebrated with LeBron when he was crying. Like nobody, when he passed, Jordan on 4th all-time list of scoring. Nobody was up there trying to celebrate with LeBron, really. The team doesn't like the team. Nobody on that team seems to like each other right now.
Are we talking about stat stuffing or are we talking about
I'm saying
chemistry?
he's stat stuffing because there is
watching the games, it doesn't look like he's stat
that is the lack of chemistry.
Because when Russell Westbrook plays, that is stat stuffing, and LeBron does not play like that.
Russell Westbrook doesn't even play like that right now. So that's a bad example.
No, he plays like that.
No, he's not playing like that right now. That's why Paul George is averaging 28 points a game and 7 assists.
Going for those assists.
That's not stat stuffing. That's playing the game right now like you're supposed to be playing it.
Well,
because
then,
he's
are you gonna give
if he was
LeBron
stat
James
stuffing,
after
then
passing
if
the
he was
ball?
stat stuffing, he would have an even worse shooting percentage than he does right now. Or actually, it'd probably be better because he would be just going to the driving to the hoop nonstop, which is why I think, if you want to jump into the Thunder topic, that Russell Westbrook has been struggling this season. It's because he's not just going straight to the hoop every fucking time. If you go back and look at the tape, every game, whenever he was struggling shooting, he wouldn't pass. He wouldn't start giving it up to nobody. He would just drive to the basket and drive to the basket and drive to the basket and drive to the basket. And
So that's points.
And no, because I'm talking about his points. I'm talking about his points.
I'm talking about like rebounds.
I'm talking about because you don't get the triple doubles without scoring points.
You also don't get it without rebounds.
And he's been having to. His rebounds are still up. He's still averaging.
I know
A lot of
Over
rebounds,
11.
but people say that the dude doesn't need to rebound. That's how his team wins. Him getting the rebounds and running the break. Is not waiting for somebody to pass you to the break. Their offense literally functions. That's not stat stuffing. That's how their offense functions. That's not a stat stuff. He's literally grabbing the rebound so that they can take off quick because nobody else on the floor is as fast as he is.
So how?
And
is
nobody
that
on the floor
different?
can get the ball and pass it to him as fast as he can get the ball and run. That
I've
is
heard
part of their
Steven
offense.
Adams saying, "Yeah, I box out so that."
Yeah,
Russell Westbrook can
I'm
get
telling
more
you,
rebounds."
that's because that's how their offense runs. It's not because they're stat stuffing. It's how they have to run their offense because, like I said, Steven Adams cannot get the rebound, turn around, and pass the ball to Russell Westbrook on a fast break as fast as Russell Westbrook can get the rebound and take off. Because when you're not realizing about that, clearing him out, he can block out and clear out two players by that time. Russell Westbrook is on a fast break with one-on-one. Because nobody can turn around and get back quick enough. That's how their offense runs.
I
And
agree to
that's why.
disagree.
But that's why. Well, if he was stat stuffing, the guy next to him wouldn't be averaging 28 points. That's
No,
just
yeah,
not.
that's- but
because
we need to
because
assist.
where
The
is the because this is the proof. This is how you know when a guy is stat stuffing. Look at the other teammates' points. Nobody on the Lakers team is doing what Paul George is doing, or what even Russell Westbrook is doing, because
I saw
they're-
Josh Hart last night blow a
But
dunk.
what did he do though?
Blow a dunk.
I'm just saying, there's nobody.
How could that be a stat stuff?
You're talking about one dude, and they're not being set up. LeBron is not setting up everybody else. He's setting up LeBron. These dudes are having. You're talking about young.
I agree to disagree. I don't
I
want to
watched
fight
the
about
games.
it. I
too.
don't want to fight about it.
I watched the games too, but these dudes do not care anymore.
Well,
That's how I know.
That's different. He's not stat
But they
stuffing.
don't care because it's the LeBron show. Well, what do you call it then? What do you call it when the dude don't
when
involve
LeBron
you unless
passes the ball?
he only passes when it behooves him? He doesn't. I'm not like that's the literal. I mean, what do you not understand about LeBron ball? That's him dominating and deciding when you're gonna get to play. That's why only veterans like playing with him because they can just either sit off in the corner, pop a three, or just get out of the way. They're happy. Older guys are happy to do that because they don't want to do a whole bunch of running around.
You're right. I concede. You're
They
right.
don't want to do a whole
LeBron
bunch of running
James, biggest stat stuffing asshole I ever seen. You're right. You're right. Let's move on.
I don't know.
Let's
I don't
move
know.
on.
I guess you
Let's
guys
move on.
out there who don't believe that he's a stat stuffer probably believe.
No,
that
he's stuck.
Probably
he's a
believe that he's still the best player. Still believe that he's better than Jordan, even though he
stinks.
doesn't have anything better to do.
Oh yeah, he's
You know what
stat
I'm saying?
stuffing.
I don't know.
Get him
I don't
out
know.
of this league. Get him out
I
of
don't
this.
know. It just seems like
Stat
if
stuffing
the greatest
jerk.
player in the world,
No,
They
he's
would,
just stat stuffing.
they would not be
Stinks.
missing the playoffs.
He's
You know
the
what I'm
worst.
saying? They're gonna miss the playoffs probably by about 7 games.
LeBron, stop stat stuffing.
Speaking of another stat stuffer, Kyrie Irving. 7-0 is
Stat
the Celtics.
stuffing.
7
Kyrie.
7-0. 7-0
What's that?
are the Celtics with Kyrie not on the floor. They're 10-2 with Kyrie not on the floor the entire season.
Damn.
Yeah, he's a stat stuffer. That's why their team has been struggling the last 2 months.
Ugh.
This is exactly why their team has been struggling the last 2 months. Yes, they beat the Golden State Warriors without Klay Thompson. Everybody keeps forgetting to say that when they go into this big rant and rave talking about that headline on Tuesday when the Golden State Warriors lost by 33 points, the largest point margin since Steve Kerr's been the coach. That shit didn't matter to me. Klay Thompson was not playing. By far, maybe their second best defensive player on their team. Could arguably say this first best defensive player on their team. I was not fucking feeling that hyped up fucking game. And I'm not feeling the hyped up win that they got over the Sacramento Kings, who are struggling to stay or get into the playoffs, rather, just like the Lakers. I'm looking at the Celtics like they are still struggling. Because when Kyrie is back in the lineup steady, they lose games.
Yeah.
They lose games heavy. And it's because Kyrie refuses, and he's being adamant about it in the press conferences, in the locker room, when the reporters are asking him. He's being demonstrative about it. Hey, other guys need to just play because I'm going to play how I'm going to play. Other guys just need to get out the way and play.
That's why he's going to be a Knick next year.
Amongst many reasons. And let me just say, if you want to be a Knick, KD, if you want to be a Knick, Kyrie, more power to you. Because when you go there, the same thing's going to happen for you that has happened for every fucking Hall of Famer since 1972.
What?
You're going to lose. You're going to
Madison
lose.
Square Garden. We'll love you, but you will not make the playoffs.
Go ask Carmelo Anthony, should you leave your prospective Hall of Fame career, legendary career,
Western Conference finals.
That's right.
Contender every year.
Should you leave that and go to the Knicks and maybe bring them a championship? Ask LeBron James how hard it is to go back to somewhere and win a championship that's never won one. It's almost impossible. You know what I mean? And I think these guys are going to systematically ruin their careers. Like, they're going to become the
Stephon Marbury.
The Stephon Marbury, and I was going to then say Latrell Sprewell of the league. And it happens that both of those two dudes played for the Knicks, left the Knicks, and got to the Knicks, couldn't do nothing, left the Knicks, couldn't do nothing, and their careers just ended after they left the Knicks. I really hope that doesn't happen, because this is another thing that I wanted to talk to you about. LeBron James is old now. He's old. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that. You're going to get old. Better to get old and die young. KD, only about 4 years old, 4 years younger.
Mm-hmm.
Kyrie, young guy, but injury prone as hell. Who's going to be the guy? I mean, we got Zion coming, but, I mean, hey, he already got hurt. I don't know.
Who's going to be the guy on the Knicks?
Who's going to be the guy in the NBA coming
the
up
NBA.
soon? I mean, we are almost without a face of the league in the NBA. This is real shit.
I think I got one. This dude is clearly great. He's happy, got a great smile, and I think it's got to be Giannis.
Yeah, the only problem I would have with that is he gonna stay in Milwaukee?
I think yes.
And see, I don't think he can be the face of the league
In Milwaukee.
in Milwaukee. I'm not hating on Milwaukee, but it's just I just don't feel like he can be the face of the league.
So let's go through the faces. It was LeBron. Before that, it was Kobe.
It's Kobe.
Before that was Jordan.
You could argue that Kobe and Shaq shared the mantle for a while. You could argue that because there's some people out there that are going to say that, Shaquille O'Neal was the most dominant player who ever played the game.
He was just stat stuffing.
But no, he was definitely underachieving.
Before Jordan was Bird and Magic. Before that, was it West? Jerry West?
No, it would have been Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kareem was in Milwaukee.
He was a Laker.
But I think by the time...
He was a Laker before Magic got to the Lakers. So he would have been... He was there the year before. So, yeah.
So, but before that was Milwaukee.
Well, I mean, what we're talking about, before that, there wasn't an NBA.
Before that...
I mean, just like...
It would
have been Bill Russell.
Post office workers in there.
It would have been Bill Russell before that. Or Dr. J would have been in the ABA at that time.
Oh, right.
But, but yeah.
So what do these all have in common?
They're in the Hall of Fame.
Well, LeBron, was in the smallest market in Cleveland, but he did his thing in Miami. I think he transcended it. I think Giannis this year needs to make the finals to take that next step in toward being the guy of the NBA. Because then he gets all that ABC coverage. They do those halftime stories. Basketball Without Borders coming up. People will see his personality.
First time Milwaukee been in the finals since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Oscar Robertson.
See, I don't think Kevin Durant will ever be the face because he hates everything off the basketball court. He hates the fans talking shit about him on Twitter.
Basketball court.
Well, yeah, but he has to make these burner accounts to talk shit to random people on Twitter. He snaps back at the media for asking questions that everyone wants to know, doing their job. Yeah, it sucks, but it kind of comes with the territory.
It's in your contract. You have to talk to him for 10 minutes out of the day.
Kyrie, I don't see him being the face of the NBA. Kyrie, I think it's a better. I think Steph Curry has a better chance. Steph Curry would be my number 2 answer, especially if Kevin Durant leaves the Warriors. I think Curry would be the face of the NBA.
I like that answer. There's a lot of guys who it could have been if LeBron had retired around the same time as all the other guys he was drafted with. But yeah, I would say Steph before Giannis, just because Steph probably has a better chance of continuing to win championships even if KD leaves.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say KD. I would say Steph first, but I would also agree with you that KD, no way in the hell he could be the face of the league.
He's the bad guy of the league.
He's the Karl Malone of the league now.
Which the league needs. It's always fun to have a bad guy.
Oh, yeah. I love hating on players and teams.
Because Kobe was the face and the bad guy.
Right. Yeah, that worked. And that worked for him. But he won championships, though. That's the difference. See, because nobody counts KD's championships as his championships.
It's so true.
And what has he won without, a team surrounding him, like a future Hall of Fame team surrounding him? In Oklahoma City, they were one bench guy away from being in the finals. They're one bench guy away.
Well, they even made the finals.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying being back in the finals, but in the finals, they were one bench guy away from, if James Harden doesn't choke in those finals, they probably win those finals, or at least compete better instead of getting poor man swept. But KD also had a lot of turnovers in those finals. Those guys were young as shit, so we're not going to hold it against them. But it's just these guys, the James Hardens of the world, and the KDs of the world. superstars that people don't really like for some reason, it's because, like, hey, you guys just score a lot. You're really good at scoring, but on your own or without Hall of Fame team surrounding you, you haven't done anything. And that's, I mean, if you're supposed to be the face of the league, you got to at least be like a dominant player. Yeah. And I don't see that anywhere right now. I think we got a bunch of, like, you know, we got a lot of Tracy McGrady's and Vince Carter's in the league right now.
If Giannis was in a big market, would you see him as a face?
Yeah, if he was like a Laker, if he was a Celtic, I mean, even a Knick. You know what I mean? Not even saying that. I'm not saying that this player who's the face has to be winning the championships. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't necessarily mean that. Look at LeBron. He's been in the league 16 years. He has 3 championships. That's not that's not like he's winning all of those years. You know, if you do, Jordan had 6 and 11 years, so basically. That's a guy who can be the face, but he was also winning the championships. But most of the guys don't have that situation in there, you know, while they're the face of the league.
And I don't think that will ever happen ever again.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why he's considered the greatest of all time. And that's what I'm saying. Most guys don't have what Jordan had. That's an anomaly. You know what I mean? Most times it's like what LeBron is dealing with. You know, what Kobe dealt with. You know what I mean? Like, Kobe got 5, but that motherfucker played for 20 years. Mm-hmm. So I think you face that kind of adversity. So you don't never have to be the face. I mean, to be the face, you don't never have to be just winning all the championships, but you got to be exciting. Got to be good to watch. I got to be wanting to watch. Turn on the television and watch them. I think that's might
like an NBA League Pass team.
Yeah, somebody make me purchase an NBA League Pass. Mm-hmm. And I think Zion might be that dude, at least for the first season.
Yeah, because it's kind of like Blake Griffin. He was must-see TV for the first 3 years.
Exactly. I would have bought an NBA League Pass to watch Blake Griffin.
Especially when he used to dunk.
Right.
From the free throw line.
You got to save them legs.
And I think that's what's going to happen to Zion.
He's going to stop dunking?
He's going to
slow down on the dunks?
Yeah.
Become more versatile?
Because that's just the era we live in. Everyone wants to play for as long as they can. Everyone wants to win championships, and will make that happen however they can. And no one wants to get hurt.
Don't nobody want to get hurt. Man, bunch of pussies.
Well, I mean, they're not pussies.
Oh, man, no. I mean, like, you know, you can say whatever you want to say. They're not pussies, whatever. They not like these other guys. You know what I'm saying? There are no more Charles Oakleys. There are no more Bob Suras. There are no more Mark Prices, because I'm just talking about, I mean, there are very few, I should say, because there are the Patrick Beverleys of the world. But Patrick Beverley is an older guy in the league right now. So I can't even really say that there are these new guys. I don't see that dog in any of these new kids that are coming in.
But I also think that players are way bigger today than they were 20 years ago. And when you go diving to the lane, you're hitting harder with two bigger bodies on average than the bodies of 20 years ago hitting together and jumping higher.
They're a little taller, but they're not as thick as the dudes who were playing 20 years ago. Charles Oakley was ripped. Charles Barkley for a little while was way more ripped than he was when he was in Phoenix and whatnot. You know what I mean? These guys were massive. Patrick Ewing was a massive human being. Also, the time period of since I've just mentioned nothing but big men, that was a time period of like the biggest big men. Like we forget about that whole era.
But that's era. Like post up.
Yeah, but also when you coming in to play defense, I mean to score, them dudes are playing defense on you and they knocking you down. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys suffer. Those guys.
No, I know. And then
but these guys today.
And how long were their careers?
A lot of them guys played 10, 15 years, 16 years, but it's just
they don't play longer than that.
But they don't play. They're not as productive. You know what I mean? Like guys used to play though that long. They're just not as productive as LeBron James or Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant was adamant that he wasn't going to come out and just average 20 points a game. That was when he was going to retire. So had Kobe Bryant been able to continue to average more than 20 points a game, he literally would still be playing right now. Like guys definitely will play as long as they can, or as long as they can keep getting a phone call, i.e. Vince Carter. But most guys won't do what Vince Carter is choosing to do.
Take that back seat.
And just take that back seat or play on a team that's not going to be in a championship. And you know they're not going to be in a championship late in your career because you're just playing to play. He's not even really playing to get paid.
Plus, he's on the Hawks.
Right. I mean, he knows that he's not going to get anything back from this other than the check and the grief. And that's okay with him because he's not the type of dude, these are his words, that can take a back seat and just sit at the end of the bench while everybody's going out there and winning the ring.
Right.
He's like, I can't do that. I got to be actually participating and playing in the game.
I can respect that.
I can respect, but I don't feel like we got any more of those guys. I think we're seeing a lot.
Rare.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because of what we're doing right now. Podcast careers. Journalism.
Yeah.
ESPN. Players only.
All of it.
There's millions to be
Multimedia
made
platforms.
there, and you don't have to show up to practice.
And after you've already got $25 million, do you really want to get yelled at by some old white guy?
Well, you're older then, probably.
Or even with the new guys, then you're younger than.
Mm-hmm.
These guys are yelling at you, and you're already a millionaire 24 times over.
You got Vince Carter taking direction from Trae Young.
But hey, I think Trae Young benefits from that, and Vince Carter likes to benefit these kids. He likes to actually help these kids. Like
I hope so.
I think it's a beautiful thing what he's doing. He said he's coming back for another year, so shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Vince Carter, Vince Sanity, because he's still out here dunking.
Half man, half a century playing in the NBA.
I don't think Kevin Durant will be. He says he loves the game, but that'll be his test. When he's so old that he can't get on a championship team without having to sit on the bench and come out as like a fucking souvenir and hit a three at the end of the game every once in a while, if he can't do that and he doesn't put himself in the position of like Vince Carter, we'll know. We'll know he really doesn't just care about the game. He just wants that check and want to get that ring.
Yeah, I think Kyrie Irving also came out and said, I'm not going to be one of those guys playing after I'm 33 years old. These guys have bigger things on their mind. It's like their brand. This is like the first step in like a huge career as basically an Instagram star.
Exactly. And see, that's why this is a good segue into next week. We're going to talk about this next week, man, because that's what's ruining this NBA season. We don't have as good
celebrity culture.
Celebrity culture is definitely ruining the way basketball has been played and therefore ruining the way we are watching it. Mm-hmm. And it's not as entertaining to watch anymore. 128 and 148 is not a basketball score. I don't know what kind of score it is because I don't know what sport that they could play that they would get you that many points.
Yeah.
It's like skiing or like something like that. Like,
yeah, because like it's all about stats. You know, good defense doesn't get a stat other than other person not scoring.
Right.
So
blocks. That's as much as of a stat that you can get in defense or in steals.
D Wade just passed someone as the number one blocking guard.
Number one blocking guard of all time. He's also
I forgot who he passed.
The shortest guard in that category to have that many blocks.
So good for D Wade.
Good for D Wade. But like I ain't seen D Wade in any T-Mobile commercials lately. That's what these kids are worried about. Mm-hmm. That's what these kids are worried about. They ain't get. Where's my Gatorade commercial? with my new Nike shoe contract.
Yeah.
You know, but whatever. We'll talk about how old we are next episode. That'll be episode 54, baby. You funky bitches, I love you all. We love you more than your mothers did and more than your fathers could ever imagine. I like didn't better. More than your fathers didn't. Yeah. No shout outs this week, right?
Well, we already did them.
We already did them. But you don't got nobody else to shout out, right?
Shout out to, who is this playing? Damian Lillard.
Woo. Yeah, okay. Well, we're going to watch the game now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Thunder. Shout out to Paul George, the real MVP. Good night. Good night. Good night.
It just clicked in my mind that if you just run through somebody's face, a lot of people ain't gonna be able to take that over and 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 over again. They just not gonna want that.
Think there's a deeper metaphor there?
Run through a motherfucker face. Then you don't have to worry about them no more.